Hey guys, welcome to the Burn Boot Camp podcast. We got Renaldo and Latanya Wynn, my better half right here, guys. And we're going to be talking to you a little bit about our journey today. I think the first thing is how we got started, right, babe?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's for me. So, of course, playing 13 years in the NFL, that was a dream come true for me coming from the south side of Chicago. I came across this young lady when I was in college. She made sure I stayed in school, did all the right things, went through some tough times prior to that, but through it all, we entered into the NFL, and it was a great journey for us. 13 years. I played for 4 teams. Was drafted in the first round by the Jacksonville Jaguars. We were there for 5 years, some great years there. Signed as a free agent with the Redskins, now the Commanders. We're not going to get into all that though, right? And so I was with the Redskins for a total of 6 years. Signed as a free agent with the New Orleans Saints with Coach Payton and Drew Brees. You may know a couple of those names. And then also played with the New York Giants with Tom Coughlin. Eli Manning was my quarterback there. So again, I played a long career, but there's always the post-career afterwards. Shortly after, Coach Gibbs and I, who coached me at the Redskins, had came back. Of course, he and we bonded, and I had an opportunity to go to a NASCAR race. Coach Gibbs and we started off a little bit on the wrong path, I would say, because I was a union rep for our team, and Coach Gibbs, he was a new coach, and so a lot of times when you have a new coach coming in, yeah, and that was his second time. He had already won 3 Super Bowls prior, so imagine now this Super Bowl already Hall of Fame coach owns a great successful business in NASCAR, and he comes back. And he pretty much was going to make sure he was going to make some changes. And, of course, that's to be expected. We just didn't know as players it was going to be as drastic and as quick as he wanted it. And part of that was having a mini camp practice to start the season, which is unheard of. You usually bring players in all season, work out, and then you do that. And so Coach Gibbs and we bumped heads a little bit. Long story short, I went to a NASCAR race that happened to be in Las Vegas at the time. Didn't want to go. It was all left-hand turns, right? But at that time, I went because of some family members wanted to go. And the unthinkable happened. I fell in love with NASCAR. And so Coach Gibbs and I had an affinity connection, if you will, because he knew I loved NASCAR. A couple of years into it, he offered me the position to move here to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is, I know the headquarters were based right here in the Charlotte area, and so I worked for Joe Gibbs Racing for 8 years, I would say about 7 and a half, 8 years as an executive director for Coach's nonprofit organization called Game Plan for Life. As you would have it, my wife here knew no one. She's born and raised in Las Vegas.
Zero. No
and
one.
So I think it's important, especially for your wife, to be able to make friends. For us as guys, it's a lot easier. I'm going to the job every day. I got people to connect with. She didn't have that. Her family's all in Vegas. And shortly after, you came across someone that introduced you to Burn Boot Camp.
Yeah, and I don't know, the first day I stepped in the Burn Boot Camp, I knew that it was for me. I felt like at that point in time, we had been together through college and NFL, and I just needed something for me. It was something I just felt like it was just something that I needed to do. Well, to go back to that, so I did the 14-day trial. The first day, I'm like, hey, I'm here, I'm hooked. So then maybe a few months passed, and then I started thinking about, hey, Renaldo, I think I would really like to do something like this, Maybe we can open up a Burn Boot Camp. And of course he thought I was crazy, because it was just like, okay, now, we know you didn't know anybody now and you're going to boot camp every day, but now you want to open up an actual physical Burn Boot Camp gym? And I'm like, yes, that's what I want to do. But Burn, it changed my life. I mean, there's no other way to say it, put it, or even like go anywhere around it. It's just for me, I was in Concord. That was the gym that I came out of, and so I'm sure that gym, it's probably about maybe 15 or 20 other ladies that are now Burn franchise partners out of that one gym. But we just started looking into it. We met with Devin and all that good stuff. And so originally we were supposed to be in Jacksonville. That didn't happen. So it's like, hey, I'm from Las Vegas. That's my hometown, born and raised. And so we just took it from there. The same thing, what I wanted to do was, so how the women felt, the community for me, I've always been athletic, I've always worked out and all that good stuff, but for me, I think it was the community that probably had such an impact on my life. So I wanted to bring that back to my hometown and just give that to the women that I felt that needed what I needed, or even needed more or less, but just the whole community of that is what I fell in love with. And I kind of feel like that is my purpose, and the calling that God has put on my life is through women and to women. I know we're, he kind of bonds with the men and everybody or whatever, but I know for me it was, just to change lives of women and just be an impact for them in their lives, how it did it for me. So I just wanted to bring that home for, the other ladies.
Yeah, and as all that's going on, it sounds pretty smooth, but on the back end, it's pretty rocky.
Yeah.
Because remember, here's a guy that had a lot of faith in me to be able to come and move our entire family out here to Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, that just doesn't happen. So appreciative that Coach Joe Gibbs would, have the faith to take the chance. He's coached thousands of players. So, now she's saying we're going to go to Las Vegas, and now I got to make the conversation to my boss, who I felt like, man, this is my second chance after football, because there's so many guys who it's tough for that transition in pro sports to be able to make that transition and now find a career after, and this was like a dream job after a dream job. And so here I am now, she's saying
my dream job.
Of course. And so I got to have a talk with Coach Gibbs to say, look, Coach, I appreciate the opportunity, but, I need to step down and I need to go forward and go all in with my wife in this Burn Boot Camp endeavor. And he says, I thought this was your dream job. And I'm like, Coach, this is my dream job. But
it's my time.
This is my dream girl, and she's got a dream, and she's always helped me fulfill my dream. And being somebody that's been behind me the whole time, it's only right that I support her in her dream, which became my dream as well, because I got a second chance to have now a dream job after football. Now I'm still in the dream job after football, and that doesn't happen. And so for us to be where we are now in Las Vegas, to open up Burn Boot Camp Henderson West, which is right outside of Las Vegas, we have a great Burn community. We have an opportunity to open location number two, which we're excited about, called Las Vegas Southwest. It's a new upcoming area that we're excited to be a part of as well. And the first and foremost thing is, the one thing she said that resonates is changing people's lives. That's the thing that I was doing with Coach Joe Gibbs, was change. I was going to school assemblies, talking to kids, about all the things. And that's the thing that for me was my purpose, is changing people's lives. And we still get to do that. It's change. When somebody comes up to you, yes, it's fitness, all the nuances that go along with Burn Boot Camp, which separates us from every other gym. The workout is kick butt, bar none, the top. The community like no other. Free child watch to get ladies the opportunity to work on themselves. The nutrition, we got a great founder in Devin and his wife Morgan, who supports us. It's family owned. All those things are great. But for us, our takeaway, our game changer is changing lives. That's been our purpose. It continues to be our purpose, and it falls in line with the business of Burn Boot Camp and the alignment to continue to do that on a daily basis and changing people's lives. That's what we have an opportunity to hear from our members when they say, look, you saved my life, you changed my life. That's what legacy is.
Right.
That's why we're here. That's why I believe we're here. In everything that we do, no matter what it is, what type of impact are you going to have on somebody else? It's great for us to have the goals, but if we can't take people with us on these goals, and I'm so grateful that Devin sees the same thing, that he's just not trying to just hold it for himself, but he wants to, he and Morgan, they want to spread that love of Burn because they know it's infectious and they're changing people's lives, you know, and so they're giving us the tools to be able to do that. And that's why it's not common, but for Burn it is that y'all had 20 women come out of Burn Boot Camp Concord that are now owners,
Franchise
that are
partners.
now franchise partners, to be able to provide those tools to do that in communities around the country. And it's going to continue to grow because of that. You know, you just can't put a dollar amount on it. You can't put a value on it. And so taking all of our struggles that we've been through to be able to...
COVID.
Yeah, you know, making it through COVID. We opened the gym. You know, I just stepped away from Joe Gibbs Racing, you know, moving back to Las Vegas. We opened the gym in November 2019. As you know, the time of COVID happened 3 months later. And so everybody thought we were going to fold because we were a new gym. Vegas is a very competitive market for fitness already. And the brand wasn't there. There was already one Burn that had already existed there, but the branding wasn't there. And so, man, it was adversity right there in our face. We knew we were going to handle. You always have adversity, but when you have it, it's never to be expected. You never want it, but
when you come out of it, you come out stronger, you come out wiser, and then you believe in the dream more. So, I mean, for me, I don't know. I would have never thought that, oh my gosh, here we go. You know, we're closing down. You have members coming up. Are you guys going to be still open? But then you had those members that says, hey, is there members here that can't afford their membership, where they donated for other members that were having a hard time, or their spouse got laid off or something, and they sponsored memberships, but the door stayed open, and you know, we just rallied around as a community because they believed in the brand, they believed in us, and so we believe in it. And again, I say Burn has changed my life, and you know, I needed something for me. Like, I felt like I supported my husband. We've been married 26 years, and it's like, hey, I supported him at college, Notre Dame grad, by the way. And
I need to put your name on there,
right.
too.
And so, you know, through the NFL, and it was just like, hey, you know, I homeschooled my daughter, and up until 6th grade, she went on to middle school, and it was just like, okay, what about me? What do I need for me? Like, and so when I started going to Burn, it was just like every day, it was just like, okay, this is good. You know, my reason going there was, oh, you know, I want to lose weight. You know, the whole thing where you feel like your body image is, okay, you see something, everybody else sees something different. But it came back I got more out of that than that, and it stopped being about that. Sure, I still want my body to change. I still want to drop a couple pounds, but it changed my life community-wise. It wasn't about the whole weight loss thing. It was just about being around women. We all having things in common, and even men, you know, their husbands. Like, even in our gym, we have a lot of couples, married couples. We have a lot of men. We have bro weekends out and all that good stuff. But it was just something, just being around a group of women, me growing up in the house with only brothers. And so I just felt that connection that was there for me. So, you know, if you're thinking about even being a member, you know, don't worry about if you're not a size 2. You know, don't worry about if, hey, you got 20 pounds or 40 pounds to lose or whatever it is. It's for all different shapes and sizes, and the community, it's welcoming. It's not You have to feel like, oh, everybody looks like this or they look like that, or I have to wait till I get to this certain expectation to work on me. Work on yourself now. Work on yourself now. That's all that matters, is that you take care of yourself and you just try to do what you can to be happy and to be fulfilled. It has fulfilled my life, and my husband has fell in love with it, my daughter, and our family is involved, and we just love it. And I just appreciate this man for just like, hey, just saying, hey, I'll walk away. You've been by me with all my different things and issues, jobs and all that other stuff, and just to have a supporting husband to say, hey, it's your time, you do what you want to do and I support you, and I appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate you. Courage happens outside the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Courage is something that everyone should experience. If you haven't already, you hopefully will experience. And it's going outside of your comfort zone to take a leap of faith. If your leap of faith may be coming through the doors of this gym. It may be a gym that's close to you, and you've been driving by that Burn Boot Camp so many times and you see it. That may be you're out of your comfort zone to do something outside of yourself. Maybe your bestie can't come with you, but you got to realize you got to invest in you first.
Yeah.
Before you can be anything to anybody else, before you can be a great mom, a great dad, it's got a great husband, wife, whatever it is, you got to be a better you first. And it takes courage to come out of the comfort zone of mediocre, being mediocre. And if you want to be the best, understand you're gonna have failure. You're gonna have some downtime. You know what I mean? And it's during those times, I promise you, failure is actually the ingredient for success. What do I mean by that? That means that as long as you're alive, you're going to face some trials, some tribulations, some adversity. Things are not going to go your way, period. It's going to happen. You're either in a storm, you're either about to go in a storm, or you just came out of a storm. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, that's the way that's going to be. But one thing I want to encourage you in is just to have the belief that it's not going to last long, and when you come out of it, you're going to be stronger. So you got to keep moving. You got to keep going forward. Just like the saying here at Burn Boot Camps, keep moving. I mean, that's just not by accident. Keep moving. Every step is a day closer, is a month closer to that goal. And that's what Burn Boot Camp helps you in your not just fitness life, but it helps provide that confidence that you need to say, man, that I can do this. It's not always going to be a sunny day, but let's hope those sunny days amount to more than the gloomy days. And being able to take somebody along the way, to be able to empathize with somebody else, like, man, I felt just like you. Hey, look, this is what I did. Hey, you just got to keep plugging along. You got to keep chopping wood. That's for me, in terms of here coming to Burn Boot Camp. When I'm training the camp, every day is not going to feel like a 10-day, but I got to make sure I give the 10 product, because I never know who somebody else I may be able to impact on that day, and it's not fair to them. And so again, just having that opportunity to take this journey with my wife, I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world.
I got my purpose.
and that's pretty much what it is. We have our purpose. And to be able to have a purpose is lifelong. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And so for us, we're excited about our journey. We're excited about what's next. You should be excited about your journey and understand that whatever you're in right now, bad or good, use those things to be able to strengthen your goals, to be able to fuel your goals and being able to impact other people.
You got this.
Hey, we want to thank you guys for being a part of the Burn Boot Camp podcast. I know we're grateful to have this opportunity to speak into your lives. Hey, if you're ever in Las Vegas area, please come by and check us out at Burn Boot Camp Henderson West. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Hopefully, when you come, our second location may be open as well, which is Burn Boot Camp Las Vegas Southwest. Let's end on 2 claps. On 2. 1, 2.